I'm David Boren, President of the University of Oklahoma. I'm glad to have this opportunity to welcome you to our campus and to the Sam Noble Oklahoma Museum of Natural History, one of the largest university-based museums of its kind in the world. The University of Oklahoma is truly a national leader in American public higher education. It consistently ranks at the top in the nation among all public universities in National Merit Scholars enrolled. OU recently completed one of the largest academic fundraising campaigns in U.S. history by a public university. It has nearly quadrupled the number of endowed faculty positions in less than a decade and pushed OU into the top 25 public universities in private endowments. OU received the single most important gift of art ever given to a public university, the Weizenhofer collection of French Impressionist art that is housed in the Fred Jones Jr. Museum of Art on this campus. We invite you to also visit this extraordinary museum. OU leads the Big 12 universities in the growth of federally sponsored research, and we also rank first in the nation among public universities in international exchange agreements with universities all around the world. We have students on our campus from over 110 nations. The University of Oklahoma is truly setting a national standard for academic excellence. And while you're here, we invite you to drop by the OU Visitor Center in Jacobson Hall to arrange a campus tour. But first, here's more about the Sam Noble Oklahoma Museum of Natural History.
With 50,000 square feet of exhibit space, the Sam Noble Oklahoma Museum of Natural History explores the 500 million year history of the land that would come to be called Oklahoma.
3 permanent galleries take visitors on a journey through time, from life in the ancient seas to the dinosaurs that ruled the land 65 million years ago.
From the mighty mammoth of Oklahoma's Ice Age to the mammoth hunters who lived 15,000 years ago, and on to the Native Americans who make Oklahoma their home today.
The museum tells the story of the land itself, with dioramas exploring the beauty and diversity of Oklahoma's many habitats and the animals that live in them.
The museum also serves as a window from Oklahoma to the world beyond, with exhibits of rare and beautiful objects made by people from cultures all around the globe.
The museum's permanent exhibits are the result of more than 100 years of collection and research by museum scientists.
The museum was founded by an act of the Oklahoma Territorial Legislature in 1899, but had no formal director and no permanent facility until 1943, when Dr. J. Willis Stovall, a vertebrate paleontologist, took the helm.
Stovall was able to arrange for the use of an unused building on Asp Avenue to serve as a temporary home for the museum's exhibits, but there was no space in the building for museum collections. These continued to be stored in as many as 11 separate buildings on the OU campus, many of them in sad disrepair.
Dr. Stovall dreamt of someday having a new building for the museum and its collections. It was a dream that would take over 50 years to realize.
Dr. Michael Mares became director of the museum in 1983 and began a statewide publicity campaign to raise funds for a new building. The new Sam Noble Oklahoma Museum of Natural History opened in May 2000. With state-of-the-art facilities, this museum is now among the finest university-based research museums in the world.
Though the exhibits in the museum galleries are fascinating, they represent only a small fraction of the museum's vast collections, which now include more than 6 million objects and specimens.
The collections, housed in the 5-story copper-covered treasure box, are the focus of the work done by museum scientists behind the scenes, who are actively involved in research and field work that add to the museum collections almost every day.
The museum's oldest objects can be seen in the Siegfried Family Hall of Ancient Life. The gallery is arranged as a walk through time, beginning 500 million years ago, when much of Oklahoma lay below a warm, shallow ocean teeming with small invertebrates, like these trilobites.
The Hall of Ancient Life features some truly unique specimens. The centerpiece exhibit, Clash of the Titans, features the world's largest Apatosaurus, a specimen from the Oklahoma Panhandle that measures more than 92 feet long. This exhibit also features Saurophaganax maximus, the largest of the Jurassic predators, more than 36 feet long, with the largest claws of any meat-eating dinosaur. Saurophaganax was named Oklahoma's official state fossil.
This gallery also features a nearly complete Pentaceratops skeleton, whose 10.5-foot skull is the largest of any land animal ever to walk the earth. It is a Guinness World Record holder and the only full skeleton of its kind on display in any museum.
These exhibits are born from the museum's paleontology collection. The collection is divided into 3 departments: vertebrate paleontology, made up of creatures with backbones, such as the Apatosaurus; invertebrate paleontology, creatures without backbones, such as the hard-shelled trilobite; and micropaleontology and paleobotany, the fossils of ancient plants and the microscopic spores and pollen they left behind. Curators are conducting ongoing research in each of these areas, and new discoveries are made all the time.
In 1994, paleontologists at the museum discovered a new dinosaur in eastern Oklahoma. Only a few neck bones of this prehistoric giant were found, but each one is more than 3 feet long, adding up to a neck that would have been a record-breaking 40 feet in length. They named this dinosaur Sauroposeidon proteles and have estimated its height at around 60 feet, making it the tallest dinosaur in the world. The bones are housed in the museum's vertebrate paleontology collection and are still being studied.
Though many of the fossils in the vertebrate paleontology collection are very large, many of them are surprisingly small, like these tiny teeth from mammals that lived more than 100 million years ago.
The museum's smallest specimens, however, are found in the micropaleontology collection. These are the fossilized remains of ancient flowers so tiny that they appear as little more than a dot to the naked eye. Smaller still are these beautiful prehistoric plant spores. They are so small that museum scientists must use a scanning electron microscope to view them.
The invertebrate paleontology collection contains thousands of specimens of trilobites, ammonites, and other creatures from Earth's ancient oceans. This is the largest of the paleontology collections and was amassed in part as a result of oil exploration, from a time when petroleum engineers regularly used marine fossils to help them identify rock formations that could contain oil.
The work of museum scientists is not restricted to animals of the past. Much of the museum's research focuses on creatures living today. Some of this work is reflected in the Noble Drilling Corporation Hall of Natural Wonders.
Geographically placed at the center of the country, Oklahoma is literally the point where east meets west in terms of habitat and biodiversity. From the forests in the eastern part of the state to the shortgrass prairie in the west, Oklahoma offers many different types of habitat. As a result, the state is home to a wide variety of plants and animals. In fact, Oklahoma has more species of plants and animals than any other landlocked state in the continental U.S.
The detailed dioramas in the Hall of Natural Wonders showcase these habitats and allow visitors to feel as though they are immersed in a variety of Oklahoma landscapes, complete with the sounds of the birds and animals. The Walk-Through Limestone Cave exhibit takes visitors underground to learn about the animals that have adapted to life in total darkness. These exhibits are built with a special care for small details. A sharp-eyed visitor will find bees in the flowers, a female skink guarding her eggs, and a snake poised to strike. Each exhibit offers information about how animals interact with each other and their environment. By closely observing the gallery's dioramas, visitors have a chance to see the world through the eyes of the museum scientists.
The museum's life science collections are divided into 5 departments. Curators in these areas conduct field work in Oklahoma and in other places around the world. Many of the specimens they gather go into the museum's collections, where they are carefully preserved and cataloged for further scientific research.
The mammals collection is quite diverse, with more than 40,000 specimens. These include many newly discovered species from South America, such as this rat, adapted to life in the salt deserts, and this small hairy armadillo, both discovered in Argentina by museum curators.
The herpetology collection contains a large number of amphibians and reptiles from the Amazon River basin, where much research has been conducted recently by museum curators. Here, jars of common snakes and frogs from Oklahoma stand alongside Amazonian species newly discovered by museum scientists, including this tiny frog from the Amazonian rainforest.
The ornithology collection contains thousands of species of birds from around the world, including study skins of all the Oklahoma bird families and skeletons of most of the world bird families. There are also more than 8,000 eggs in the collection, many dating from the 19th century. For conservation reasons, North American birds and eggs are no longer actively collected by museums. Careful preservation of this priceless collection is therefore even more critical. These specimens provide an irreplaceable scientific historical record.
Besides field research and collecting, museum curators also conduct experimental research. In this living laboratory facility nearby, scientists of ichthyology study the way fish react to changes in their environments by carefully controlling things like the number of fish, the amount of food, and the temperature in each tank. The research of the museum is not limited to animals, however, but also includes the study of humans, both prehistoric and modern. Some of this research is featured in the McCaslin Family Foundation Hall of the People of Oklahoma.
The first exhibit in this gallery features the Burnham Site, an archaeological site in northwest Oklahoma, where a museum scientist has discovered what may be the first record of people in the New World. Though scientists have previously believed that humans appeared in North America around 15,000 years ago, there is evidence at the Burnham Site that they may have been here much earlier, as long as 30,000 years ago. Research and further field study on this subject will continue for years to come.
A small theater in this gallery houses the Cooper skull. It is part of a crushed skull of a now extinct bison that is more than 10,000 years old. The broken bone shows a faint but unmistakable zigzag line painted in red ochre across the forehead. Discovered in western Oklahoma, it is the oldest painted object ever found in the New World.
The Mississippian Cultural Universe exhibit features reconstructions of two houses and a canoe, such as those used by the people who built Oklahoma's famous spiral mounds around 600 to 1200 years ago. The art of this culture is considered the finest pre-Columbian art in North America.
The archaeology of Oklahoma is clearly a rich area for research. The museum's curator of archaeology works with the Oklahoma Archaeological Survey, university students, and dedicated amateurs around the state to piece together the clues left by these prehistoric cultures. The collection is home to thousands of stone tools and fragments, pieces of pottery and other implements made by human hands as much as 15,000 years ago.
Human cultures are also the subject of museum research. The museum's ethnology collection includes a wealth of objects from cultures around the world. This collection houses thousands of objects from cultures of the Native American tribes of North America over the past 3 centuries, some of which are on display in the Hall of the People of Oklahoma.
The collection also includes a wide variety of objects from other places and other cultures, like the beautiful hand-woven clothing of the modern-day Mayan people of Central and South America, and a rare and beautiful collection of classical Greek and Etruscan pottery, dating from 200 BC to 1100 AD. Some of these objects can be seen on display in the museum's Gallery of World Cultures.
The museum curators who study modern Native American culture and language work closely with Native communities around the state, helping to preserve an important record of the country's Native heritage. Field work for these curators includes speaking one-on-one with tribal elders and recording the valuable information they hold about tribal lore, traditional medicine, history, and language. The museum's Native American Language Department provides support to teachers of Native languages around the state through teacher training workshops, networking, and other activities.
In 2002, the museum hosted its first Native American Youth Language Fair, which drew more than 200 young participants from around the state to showcase the teaching, learning, and practice of Native languages. Each year, the fair grows in size. It is a part of the ongoing work of the museum that focuses not on the past, but on the future.
Educating the generations of the future is central to the museum's mission. Many museum curators teach in university departments, and some of the museum collections are used in courses at the university. Students work with museum curators to get hands-on practice in field research and to conduct individual research projects of their own.
For more than 100 years, the Sam Noble Oklahoma Museum of Natural History has recorded, studied, and preserved the natural heritage of Oklahoma. Each year, more than 30,000 school children visit the museum.
The fascinating exhibits and hands-on educational programs they experience here may well ignite the spark of curiosity that inspires a future generation of scientists. They will continue the work of exploration, research, and discovery. In the next 100 years, who knows where they will lead us?